How's it going? Dave from Comic Book Investments. So in this video, we are going to look at 5 keys that are heating up. What do I mean? I mean they're going up in price, some by 700%. It is crazy. Wait till you see these couple. I think they're towards the end, but it's crazy. I remember looking at it, I was like, oh, it's got to be fake, right? And then I scrolled through a bunch of different ones from that, and they are just up by a tremendous amount. And I'll explain why they're probably up. I mean, I don't know 100% why, but I have a couple guesses why. But yes, so we'll jump into all these. We'll see why they're going up. Is this a trend that's going to continue? Is this a one-off? Is this kind of like up one month, down the next month, so to speak? So we'll get into that. All right, first up is we got Daredevil 168. This is the first appearance of Elektra. A 9.4 is up 15% from 433 to 499. A 9.0 is up 6% from 518 to 550. And a 9.4 is up 2% from an average of 810 in March and now averaging 824. So this was actually brought to me by a commenter. He was like, hey, can you check on this book? And so I was like, okay, sure. So I looked at it and I was like, oh, wow, it is going up quite a bit. And I've seen this, pop up every once in a while. And I was like, okay, I'll check. And I usually have like a list. And so I threw it on the list and went back to it. And I'm like, still going up. So yeah, I really don't know why. The only thing I could really speculate why this is going up is Daredevil. They're making a new series on Disney Plus. I don't know if they're going to bring over the actor Charlie Cox. I mean, they did put him in the Spider-Man movie, so maybe they'll continue, or maybe they just want to start all over from fresh. So not really sure there. I'm thinking if they do Daredevil, Elektra soon to follow, so to speak. But this is still a good Bronze Age key to begin with. Next, we got Crisis on Infinite Earths #1. A 9.4 is up 2%. A 9.6 is up 27% from $70 to $89. A 9.8 is up 59% from $143 to $227. You can see it just straight up jump. Now, why is this going up? I'm thinking because the new Flash movie is going to have to do with like a little bit of Crisis, a little bit of Flashpoint, a little bit of everything. So I think that's why this is kind of jumping up. I mean, this was on a top 10 hot list a while ago because of that same reason. It's been slowly steadily going up. Like the lower grades, 9.4, 9.6, not so much. 9.8s, that's the kind of book you want on this book, especially since it's much more newer and easier, readily available at a 9.8. But that is kind of, I think, why it's going up. Could it go up even more? Sure. Is more things unfold with the Flash movie and maybe it more aligns with this storyline or something like that? Could be. Or, maybe it doesn't go anywhere. But in the end, this book is a classic storyline. It's probably been retold multiple times, different iterations, the sequels, all that kind of stuff. So this is still a good book regardless. Is it going to be a massive, huge hit? Is it going to be worth thousands of dollars in the next 5-10 years? Probably not, but still a safe bet. Next, we got Hulk 102. A 7.5 is up 8% from $399 to $432. A 9.2 is up 8% from $1140 to $1234. And a 9.6 is up 9% from $3,500 back in June of last year. And currently, one sold for $3,800. So this is like good, steady growth. As you can see, a year ago in June, it had a record of $3,500. Pretty much a year later, now going to $3,800, up 9% in a year. That's not terrible returns, 9% overall. That's pretty good on a book like this. So it's like seeing steady growth. As you can see, the rest of them are like 8%, all that kind of stuff. I love the Hulk, so I'm going to be biased on this. I think this is a great book to have. I mean, I can tell you this. When I bought this Hulk 181, or 102, a long time ago when I was a kid or whatever, it wasn't anywhere close to this price. So yes, it'll probably continue to go up over time. It's the first start of the Hulk series. Many of you might not know, but they started out with issue 1, and then it lasted at issue 6 and was canceled. The reason why it's canceled is because it takes a while back then, way back in the 60s, for information to see how well it's selling before they can make the decision. Now it's like pretty much instantaneously. But it takes months and months. So, the first one, second one, third one, it's not doing too good. And by the sixth one, like, okay, let's cancel it. He then later appeared in Tales to Astonish, 59, Battling Giant Man. Then he switched over where he split the magazine with Giant Man at 60, and then later split it with Submariner. And then at 101, they're like, okay, let's give him his own series. And they ported him over to 102. That's why it starts with 102, because it's actually a continuation from Tales to Astonish. So next we got the crazy ones. A 9.2 Turtles 11. Only up 13%. That doesn't really matter much. A 9.6 though went from 195 to 219, up 8%. Okay, that's pretty good for a month. But look at this 9.8. A 9.8 back in November, one sold for $450. Now one sold for $3,600. That is up 710%. That is insane. 710%. Why? I don't know. I really don't know. The only speculation I can think about is, what's funny is I had a 9.8 book of this, and I was probably the one that sold for $450. There's a couple sales back then. But there's only 2 on the population reports in a 9.8 for this. Now, there was the huge nostalgia boom that happened right before the comic boom, and Turtles were just going gangbusters. And all of a sudden, before, these Turtles books weren't really worth that much. Now, all of a sudden, they became worth something. So I think a lot of people speculated, okay, now all these people are going to take the raw copies and start getting them graded, and there's going to be a ton of 9.8s out there. And, people buy them online. They're not graded, get them graded, ton of 9.8s. Well, it's been over a year, and there's still only 2. So that just shows, this book is actually really tough to get in as a 9.8. So that is why, my guess is why it's up to $3,600 for a 9.8. And I thought maybe this is like an error on the reporting. This Turtles 11 didn't go for $3,600. Maybe someone actually put in an extra number. Maybe they put in the wrong book. Maybe it's supposed to be a Turtles 1, not a Turtles 11. Who knows? But then here we go. Here's another one. Turtles 16, a 9.4 went from $70 to $70. No change there. A 9.6 down from $52 to $50. It's just month after month. But a 9.8 went from $293 in November to $2,600, up almost 800%. Another one. Now this one's even stranger. So the last one I was like, it's the population report, right? There's only 2 of them. They have 7 of these. There's 7 9.8s on the pop report. Now, is that a lot? Not really. But a lot of times you'll see that and it's like, there's not that many 9.8s. But it's like, well, before it was only worth $293 as a 9.8. So maybe there's a lot of people like, I'm not going to spend $50 to $100 or whatever it is to get it graded. Not worth it. Not going to do it and wait a year. So a lot of people just didn't care. But that means there could be many, many more out there than just 7. But 7 is still kind of a lot to go for $2,600. Don't know. And there's a lot of other Turtles. Someone came by and just bought a ton of Turtles because there's a bunch of Turtles on there that are all going for like insane $4,000, $3,000, $2,000, all over the place, these earlier issue numbers. So it was very interesting to see, and I was like completely shocked when I saw it, completely shocked. All right, next up is an update. I like to go find one I did, a few months back, and let's see how it's doing comparatively. All right, what's on the update? The update NYX number 3. We got a 9.4. When I did it, the previous month when I did it was back in February, and it was at a 747 on average. Now it currently averages 630. It's down 15%. A 9.6 back in February averaged 880. Now averaging 695, down 21%. And a 9.8 back in February was 1824. Now averaging 1775, down 3%. I mean, I kind of predicted this. I think at the beginning of the year, I think a lot of comics are going to do this. So they're just going to have yo-yo months. 1 month be up, 1 month be down. I think overall, most of these books will probably see a decent increase, like the better keys, things like that. I mean, a bunch of things happened since the beginning of the year to now that kind of changes a lot of course of my thinking. But I think overall, if you have a good book and it already came down from the comic boom, and now started going up again, I think you should be safe. I think this book in particular, if you got a 9.8 of this book, I don't see this really dropping too much. I think it's just going to yo-yo for most of the rest of the year. At the end of the year, we'll start higher than it was a year ago. Don't know. It will be pretty close. So I don't see this thing like massively dropping off too much. That is it. Have a good day.